Welcome back to yet another episode of Signal Solutions TV. I'm here again with Adam Butler.
Good morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are. Nice to see everyone.
Don't think you need to say that when you're recording it because people could be watching it
I
any time
like
of the
to
day.
I like to greet people.
At any time. Good
Yes.
morning, good afternoon, good evening. Today we are going to have a little fireside chat, as I like to call it,
Yes.
about what causes the problems of mobile signal in people's buildings, because we get asked this question all the time.
Yes. Yeah, well, we do. I mean, obviously, it's why we exist, really. We solve people's in-building mobile signal issues. That's our Signal Solutions.
That's why we were born.
That's right. That's it. That's our raison d'etre. I'm sure I haven't pronounced that correctly.
I didn't know you knew Italian.
But look, I mean, people come to us, of course, with problems within their buildings. Actually, we get inquiries from people with signal problems outside their buildings, and we're very quick to explain we can't really help with that because of Ofcom regulation, so we solve problems in buildings. But with that in mind, why is there why are there problems? Why are we sitting here now maybe with poor mobile signal in this building?
It is a question we get asked all the time, and obviously people don't understand why suddenly they can't make phone calls, or why they've not been able to make phone calls for years in their building, when as soon as they walk out the front door, they get good mobile signal, and it is the building really that's causing the problem.
Yeah.
And we talked a lot about issues that people have with mobile signal and the importance of mobile signal, and we always talk about lots of reasons why people need good mobile signal, but we don't often talk about why it's not working, why it doesn't actually get into the building in the first place. Because if you look around most rooftops in major cities, you'll see lots of cell sites on the top of the buildings. So you'd think there would be good signal everywhere.
Yes. Yeah. Well, and there is, isn't there?
Yeah.
We're filming here in London today. You go outside, you've got 5G as good as you'd find anywhere in the civilized world on the street. You go into the building and it suddenly vanishes.
Exactly.
And why is that?
The main reason is that mobile signal is a radio wave, and basically radio waves go like this. Don't know if you know that.
Oh yeah, well, like a breakdance move from the 80s.
Just doing a little dance.
Yeah. Do what you do.
And this is my very basic explanation, is because I'm not actually, as much as people might think, I'm not actually a RF geek or
what
expert.
They don't teach this
They
at
don't
RF
teach-
school.
No.
Oh wow.
No,
Okay.
apparently not. I've not been to RF school.
No.
No, I wasn't allowed.
Okay.
But yeah, signal radio waves basically are waves.
Yes.
And some are shorter and some are longer depending on the frequency that you're using. But the faster speeds of data that we need, we're going higher up the spectrum of speed.
Okay.
If there's any experts watching and I get any of this terminology wrong, I apologise.
Yes, this isn't for you.
No,
this is for
the
everyone
layman.
else. Yes.
Yeah. It's for Adam.
Yes. Thank you. Yeah.
No, what happens, the higher up the spectrum we go, the waves, as far as I understand it, get shorter,
Right.
and they basically bounce off the building a lot easier. So
Right.
all signal degrades as it hits something. So in the sort of early days of 2G, we might have been right down this end of the spectrum at, say, 900 megahertz.
Yeah.
We're now, with the sort of 5G networks that are coming out, we're looking at like 3.5 gigahertz, which is essentially 3,500 megahertz. So that radio wave is a lot shorter. I don't know how to do that. So 900 might be like this, the wave might be like that. With 3.5, it's like this. So it's very short, and that's essentially just not penetrating as much into the building.
Yeah, and as you... Wow, crikey. Hang tight, viewers, we're nearly there. As we have seen things improve from a data point of view, so we've gone up through the generations of mobile signal through 2, 3, 4, 5G. My understanding is that whilst you can access it, it's very good.
Yeah.
the speed of it means that it doesn't actually penetrate into the buildings quite as well. Is that correct?
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
So 5G, for example, quite a lot of people think, well, if you were a layman looking at this, you'd think technology is improving all the time. So surely with 5G coming out, my mobile signal problem might disappear because we're going to have 5G, and 5G is the answer to everything. We're going to have super fast speeds. We're going to, have a brilliant mobile network. But actually, the short answer to that is it's potentially going to get worse the higher up the spectrum. Well, it is going to get worse the higher up the spectrum. And we've certainly over the last 12 months, we've started to get a lot more inquiries from people that wouldn't have inquired before.
Yes.
And that is because the networks have turned off the 3G network.
Yes.
And soon they will turn off the 2G network as well completely.
Yeah.
So we'll then be reliant on 4G and 5G. Now, some of that still operates on the lower frequencies, but to get the faster speeds and everything that people want, we're looking higher up the spectrum. So 5G isn't necessarily going to solve your mobile signal problem.
No. In fact, it's definitely not.
No.
It's definitely not.
Let me say that again. Let me say that. 5G is definitely not going to solve your mobile signal problem.
No, perfect, exactly. And that sort of answers the question: why is it getting worse? Why have I got a poor mobile signal in my building? But also, why is it getting worse? From speaking with people from my own experience of this, you imagine that as more cell masts go up and things seemingly get better, faster data speeds, everything, you just imagine, right, well, they'll just solve that problem. But, of course, we've explained, that's not the case because of the way the signal is distributed, but also modern construction materials, you kind of got two ends of the spectrum, haven't you? One is old buildings have got really big, thick walls that the signal can't penetrate.
Exactly.
Modern buildings have got tons of steel, aluminium, glass, super efficient materials.
The efficiency is a big one because even the glass on the building is designed to keep heat in to the building so that the building is very efficient.
Yeah.
But what that's also doing is not allowing signal to come in through there. And even if you take a residential property now, all new build residential properties are so efficient and so well insulated that even in your house you're probably getting worse mobile signal than you would have done before.
Yes.
And because of the problem we've got with mobile signal anyway, and the fact that buildings are getting more efficient, it's getting harder and harder for signal to penetrate into buildings. So it's a lose-lose really for the end user because they're the signal's getting better outside in terms of the speeds that they can get.
Yeah.
But everything's working against them to get that into the place that they need it most of the time, which is when they're in a building.
Yes, of course. And whilst there are solutions for any potential customer, whether it be homeowner residential, landlord for residential in big block of flats, or multiple site retailer, hotels, large office buildings, there's a solution available for everyone. Our typical inquiry is with probably a slightly larger middle price enterprise type customer, although anyone watching that wants to find out more about how signal can be improved inside your building, drop us a line and we'll give you the details at the end of this episode. The solution is available to anyone. So very briefly, or as briefly as we can, how would we solve that problem for a customer?
We would put an antenna on their roof, or multiple antennas if they want multiple networks.
Yeah.
We would run some cables down into the building to a network unit, and we then distribute that signal. There's multiple ways we can do that, but we distribute the signal out throughout the building, depending on what type of system we use. But it is solvable for anyone, depending on the size of the building. The only issue that we can't really solve is that we're not adding capacity to a building. So we're not. If you've got a venue like a football stadium or supermarkets are bad.
We're good with supermarkets.
Good supermarkets.
Yes,
Amazing with
yeah,
supermarkets.
Yeah,
but,
football stadium's not really for us.
Yeah,
Unless you've got an office in a football stadium that's got a problem, we can solve that one. If you need 90,000 users to be able to experience amazing 5G on match day, give us a shout. I'll point you in the right direction. But it's not us.
It's not us. No.
Yeah.
So we can cover 90% of
Yes.
the world basically in terms of in-building coverage.
Yes.
And it is it's a solvable solution, and a lot of people don't realise there is a solution to fix the problem.
Exactly, solvable solution. Maybe we can refer you in the comments on this video to some other information that we've put out there before. One of the main things we get as resistance is, well, I just use Wi-Fi calling. We've got a great Wi-Fi network. There's a few reasons why Wi-Fi isn't necessarily the answer to all the problems. The main one being Wi-Fi calling is detracting from your own Wi-Fi, so it's bringing the speed down generally when people are using it for calls. The biggest one, of course, that we come across is two-factor authentication. So tell us why Wi-Fi calling or Wi-Fi can't improve two-factor authentication.
So Wi-Fi calling will only allow you to make phone calls over your Wi-Fi network.
Yeah.
When you're on Wi-Fi, obviously you've got data, but it won't. SMS only works on a proper mobile network. It won't work on Wi-Fi calling.
Yes.
And the reason that is an issue is that one of the most secure, I think it is the most secure way to send a two-factor authentication message to someone isn't necessarily through a 2FA app. It is actually via SMS.
Yes.
And if you've got a corporate office where you've rolled out a great policy that says you need to type in a PIN code every time you log into any corporate application, but that message is coming to you on SMS. Suddenly, if you're on the 8th or 9th floor of a building, for example, the only way to get that message through is to get signal on your mobile.
Yeah.
If you've then got to walk out the front door of that building to get your signal,
We've got to race out of the building because it expires in 3 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. So you've got multiple problems there.
Yeah.
But ultimately, you're going to have quite a frustrated workforce that are getting frustrated there. And actually, the worst thing you could do there is just turn off two-factor authentication, because you're then destroying your nice, secure system that you've put in place.
Yes.
What you'd be better off doing is actually improving the mobile signal in your building.
Yeah, exactly. Perfect. Well, look, I think we've answered some questions that people might have there. As always, you started, so I will finish. It's like our two Ronnies catchphrase. Yeah, you started, so I'll finish. If people want to get in touch with us, Mark, how can they do that?
If you go to our website, signalsolutions.co.uk, you can fill out a form on there and we'll get in contact with you. Or you can drop us an email, info@signalsolutions.co.uk. And I don't normally do this one. I'm going to give you the phone number.
Do it.
It's 0203 823 7365. Get in contact with us.
Perfect. Cool. So we'll be back soon with some more content. I would say, actually, if there's anyone watching, listening, drop in the comments or get in touch with us. Any questions that you've got that you'd like us to answer in future episodes, and we'll do our very best to cover those off for you. But for now, from Mark and myself, it's good night from him, and it's good night from me. We'll see you next time. Bye.
See you later. You're gagging to do that, weren't you?